Hey y'all, it's Cody Pitcher with Pitcher's Projects. I'm just heading across town to go pick up the latest thing I've acquired. I love picking up free things, especially free things that I can use. And I found somebody willing to give away a set of scaffolding, and I would like to have a set of scaffolding. So I'm gonna go pick it up, and it does have like, it looks like they were kind of using it as like a roof structure, maybe for like a shed or some sort of like workspace underneath it. So I do have to like kind of remove the shade structure off the top, the framing, and I don't even know what's all on there. So got to remove all that, and then I'll be able to load it up and bring it home. And this is a great time to make a video on how to watch for deals and get great things for free or great prices. And I'll show you some of the cool things I've picked up over the years that were indeed free or a really good price. Anyways, come along with me and I'll show you what I'm picking up today. Okay, this is going to be kind of a big project just because it does have this roofing material and some very deteriorated plywood up here. So I'm going to try to not make as big of a mess as potentially could. I'm going to try and keep it pretty minimal, but this is going to be a messy job. So here goes. All right, all finished up. I've got the scaffolding on the trailer, some boards back in the back of the truck. Some of them are trash, some of them I'm gonna hang on to just for scrap wood. And I've got just a little bit more cleaning up to do, and I'm out of here. Okay, I'm back. I've got the scaffolding that I brought home. Gonna get it off the trailer and put over here and figure out exactly what I wanna do with it. I'm not sure if, I kind of liked what they had set up there, maybe with like a little higher ceiling and some metal roofing or something like that instead of wood and shingles. That would be kind of nice to cover up all the stuff I've got over here. Anyways, I kind of like that idea, but also I kind of like the idea of just having scaffolding available to work on taller projects. When I had my old camp trailer, it sure would have been nice to have that scaffolding. I was kind of watching for some, and when I had to do some roofing stuff on that trailer. Anyways, so with those tall projects, it sure is nice to have some scaffolding laying around, and now I've got some. And so I'm not sure if I'm just gonna keep it so I can use it for scaffolding, or if I'm gonna kind of set it up as a shade structure, shed type thing. So I promised I was gonna talk about some of the things I've picked up over the years. So let me show you this hitch rack right here. I picked it up for like 30 or 35 bucks. The key with that is I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and I was the first one to message the guy. In my initial message to him, I says, I'm very interested. I can come right now. I can Venmo you, and I can come pick it up right now. And that was the winning message. He says, okay, here's my address. Come right now. So you just got to watch Facebook Marketplace. First off, you got to watch Facebook Marketplace. I've got some other like classifieds in my area called KSL Classifieds. You got to watch like government auctions, surplus sales, all those kind of auction things, and you can find deals. Facebook Marketplace has been good to me. This white piece of metal along here was part of this set of axle right here, and it was from an old like sailboat. Picked that up for free. That's a lot of metal that is going to come in handy at some point. I haven't used any of it just yet. These axles down here, free. These tires and rims back here, free. All of this metal right back here, and I can show you some of the video I've got of that. all of this metal back here, all free. And I've got a plan for that. I cannot wait to build it. I'm gonna build a nice steel rack over here. In fact, this steel rack that I've got right here, this steel rack, I'm pretty sure that was free. The guy was trying to clear out the side of his yard, clear up some space on his house, from his side of his house, and he needed to get rid of that. And actually, quite a bit of, not all of it, quite a bit of the steel that's on here was also in his yard, and he asked me to take that as well. All of this steel was in here. This whole bin of steel. There's a bunch of aluminum down here that he wanted to get rid of too. I'm pretty sure that was free. If it wasn't free, it was like 20 bucks or something. It wasn't much, I can't remember. Once I got that steel rack back to my house, I realized that was totally inefficient, totally too small, way too small for my needs. So all that steel back there, that's gonna go into making a new steel rack. I've got my plans kind of drawn up and just need time to build it now. Super excited. That's gonna be able to get almost like all of this steel off the ground. I'm gonna be able to organize things a lot better, and I'm super excited to get that built. How about this shed? This shed behind me, I got for 80 bucks. It was listed on Facebook Marketplace for 75 bucks. The guy says, I just need it out of here. I want someone to come get it today. He priced it for a good price, and I was in his area. He said first come, first serve. He did send me his address, but he warned me I'm sending my address to multiple people. First come, first serve. So I scrambled. It was a Saturday afternoon. I says, hun, I need some cash. I got to go pick up this shed. So I scrambled, got some cash. I had 80 cash. I didn't have 75, so I gave the guy 80 for it. And he was super nice, super helpful. I paid him for the shed. By the way, I forgot my phone. He texted me his address. I looked at it, and then I ran out of the house without my phone. Luckily, I've got a good address memory, I guess you could say. I'm really good with addresses, and I was able to still go find his house just using nothing but the brief glance at his address that I had done before I took off. Anyways, I was the first one there, got the shed. I was so nervous that somebody else was going to show up and offer him more for it. So I told him, I says, look, I brought a screwdriver, but I really need a drill to properly disassemble this thing. I says, are you okay if I run home, grab a drill, and grab my phone, and grab some water? It was the middle of summer, I forgot water. And he was super nice. He says, yep, no problem, I'll wait for you. So I drove home, got my phone, got my water, got a drill, used my phone to take pictures of the construction of it so that when I got it home, I was able to rebuild it just the same. And the guy was super helpful. He lent me a little trolley thing that I was able to put pieces on and wheel it out to my truck from his backyard and through the side yard. Anyways, the guy was super helpful. But that shed, 80 bucks. You just be able, so when you're watching for deals, you got to be able to know when you find a deal. And then when you find a deal, you have to move on it quickly. So what I do, like I'd been watching for a shed. And I'd seen multiple sheds go up for sale for $300, $500, $700. And I was like, that's, $300, that's not bad. I could pay that, but you know what? I think I'm gonna find a better deal than that. And so when this deal popped up, I moved on it quick and I got it. Here's another good story. I was looking for a propane tank. I needed a bigger propane tank for my camp trailer. And I didn't want the usual barbecue propane tank size. I wanted the next size up. I call that a 30-pound tank. I'm not sure if that's correct. I was looking for one of those, and I found one on Facebook Marketplace. Granted, it was attached to the front of a old, deteriorated tent trailer, but I wanted that propane tank. So he was selling the trailer for 60 bucks. I went, I bought the trailer for 60 bucks, came home with it, used the propane tank on my trailer, and then I was left with this old tent trailer. So I started tearing it down, took off all the aluminum siding, I took off, I tore it down to nothing but the bare steel metal frame trailer, and recycled all the aluminum, recycled copper, took out a couple parts. I'm pretty sure there was like a stove in it that I sold. Anyways, got it torn all the way down to the frame, and I could have rebuilt that frame into another little flatbed trailer, but I took it and just sold it off instead. I didn't want to deal with that one anymore. So I sold off the trailer, I think for 300 bucks. So bought it for 60, used the propane tank, recycled all the aluminum and copper. I think I made like 60 bucks on the aluminum copper recycling, and then sold the trailer frame for 300 bucks. So if you're willing to put in a little bit of work, get your hands dirty, you can find these deals too. You can find what you're looking for and make some money, and it's just fun. It's fun. That's part of why I do what I do. It's just fun. Here's another good story. I was looking for a welding gas bottle, like a CO2 bottle, and I found one. It was in a storage unit. There was a storage unit auction going on at that storage unit. It was one of those online ones where you could just look through, 7 or 8 pictures of it, and you're not actually there in person. You can't walk into the unit anyways. The photographer for that unit also could not walk into the unit. They take all the pictures from, the edge of the unit. And looking at this storage unit, looking at the pictures they posted, I could see a lot of tools. I could see a welder with a gas bottle attached. There was one of those big propane heaters that look like a torpedo on the ground. There was a toolbox. I'll show you a picture of that. This toolbox, I didn't know if it was going to be full or empty. I didn't know what it was going to have. And then there was some furniture, and there was just some other things, things that don't really resell or don't resell for much. But there was a lot of tools though. There was a lot of tools. I could see that whoever had that storage unit must have been a pretty handy person. Anyways, so I bid on that storage unit. I won it for 240 bucks, not knowing quite what I was getting into, but knowing that I wanted that welding gas bottle. So that alone was going to be a big chunk of that 240 bucks. And if I didn't get much more than that out of it, I was going to be just fine. I got what I needed. Anyways, went up. It was up in Cedar City, about 45 minutes away from me, and took my nephew. He was a huge help. We loaded up everything in that storage unit, brought it home, cleaned it out, got the deposit back, came home. Anyways, we walked into that storage unit to get all the stuff. That toolbox was chock full of tools, even auto body tools, slide hammers, and spray guns. There's a really, really nice spray gun that I still have from that unit. Anyways, I still have this. Years later, I still have the toolbox and a lot of the tools that were inside it. Some Mac tools, Snap-on tools, pneumatic tools. There was a lot of air tools. Anyways, I scored for 240 bucks. I bet that, you couldn't have replaced all those tools for less than a couple $1,000s. Now, granted, they were all used and stuff like that, but I ended up selling off the welder. I kept the gas bottle, the propane heater I traded to a buddy. Actually, I was just going to give it to a buddy. He had a shop at the time that didn't have a heater in it, and I was just going to give him that heater. He's a good friend. He's taught me a lot over the years, and he says, well, here, take this. So he handed me a DeWalt miter saw, and I have used that DeWalt miter saw. I had to fix the switch on the saw, but once I fixed the switch, I have used that saw. I dang near remodeled my whole house with that saw. And most of the tools from that storage unit auction I still have today. I did get rid of a lot of the furniture and a lot of the things that I didn't need. Still have the spray gun. It's like an automotive, really high quality spray gun. Still have that. It needs to be cleaned out, but I'm going to use it eventually. Anyways, if you're looking for deals, if you're looking for tools, you can find them. If you're looking for sheds or scrap steel or whatever you're looking for, you can find it. You just have to watch. You have to check thrift stores. You have to check yard sales, estate sales, auctions, government auctions, surplus auctions. My air compressor that I've got, I've used that thing for probably 10 years. I got it for 20 bucks from a Washington County School District surplus sale. It had come out of one of the high school shops, and they said it was all seized up. They didn't think it would work anymore. I took a risk. I spent 20 bucks on it. I brought it home. It was out of oil. I put some oil in the cylinder and ran the pulley back and forth with my hand, got it freed up, and it has worked ever since. It does get hot when I run it. If I have to run it for a long time, it does get hot, and I worry it might seize up again. But I've used that thing for another 10 years, and it has worked fine. I try not to use it for a long period of time. I turn it off and don't run it again for another hour or so, but I have used that thing to death. And someday it will finally die, and it'll be the cheapest air compressor I will have ever bought. Anyways, if you're looking to get your hands dirty, you can find deals where you have to do a little bit of labor to get it. Like the scaffolding today, yeah, I had to do a little work to get it cleared off, and the guy just kind of said like, hey, if you want the scaffolding, you have to disassemble, take everything off, throw it away, whatever you want to do, but if you want the scaffolding, you have to take it all. Luckily he had a dumpster there in the complex. I was able to take some of the smaller loose stuff to the dumpster, and then brought more of the wood things home, and some of the wood's still gonna need to go in the dumpster. But anyways, I hope this kind of inspires you. Like, I want to help inspire the next generation of people that, there's not enough people that know how to do things these days. Like I've got a buddy that he had the little thing you pull up and down on the back of the sink to stop the water in the sink. He pulled it up and it just came straight up. It wasn't connected anymore. The thing, those things get rusted inside there and break off. And anyways, he had to call a plumber to come fix it, and that's fine. He doesn't know plumbing. He's not quite as handy as I am, I guess. But I want to inspire people to get in, figure stuff out, get your hands dirty. You can do these things super easy if you just maybe use YouTube to find what you're looking for, or whatever you need to do. But I want to inspire people to build and create and have fun doing it, and I know I sure do. And anyways, I think that's good for people to learn, to learn to be hands-on, and I'm hoping I'm inspiring somebody out there. Anyways, that's it for today. You guys take care. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.